Right. Everybody isn't granddaddy's baby. So we definitely know that women do cheat.
Absolutely.
And I don't know the reason, like why every woman done it. I done it when I was younger. I can't blame it on age, but I was very immature. And I didn't think of the consequences because when you're in the act of it, you don't think of the consequences 20 years down the road. You only think of in that moment of, you know what I'm saying? So, we got any questions? Oh, no, Nita, you over there reconnected. Are you on the Wi-Fi?
I was just trying to.
So you guys came up with some valid points of why do you think women do it. But going back to what Joe said, what do you think? How do you deal with it? How does a man, maybe a couple of your homeboys you may know, how do they deal with it once their woman cheated on them? How were they able to continue to be in a relationship with them?
It's great. We were just talking about this on the way over here. I know a guy that been married for a very long time, and his wife ended up having a baby from a pastor in the church. But 15, 20 years later, he's still with her, but he don't speak on it. But somehow, some way, they worked it out. But like I said, he don't.
So I
speak on
really
it.
wonder, how does he treat that child?
He raised it.
Okay.
Raised it as it was his.
My phone popped out on
Wow.
Mine popped out too.
Right. So the kid wasn't his. The child was. Now this is the thing. Now that is a very listen. Maybe he stood on his
No, he stood. Maybe he's on his knees a lot.
That's what I said. I was going to say he stood on his beliefs.
Yeah, he had to get on his knees a lot.
Because
What age did he find out that child wasn't his? 'Cause
Oh,
that makes
This
a
kid
difference.
is probably
That makes a difference.
20-some years old now.
Okay.
And you found out when they were a baby?
They're young.
Yeah, see, once that child is a certain age and
some people saying that's a real man.
you got that
That
What
make
makes-
him a real man.
I was just gonna ask you-
How that make him a real man?
What makes him a real man? Because he decided to stay with one who had an affair and had a baby on him.
that don't make him a real man.
That'll make him a real man.
That don't make him a real man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Would have made him a lesser man if he would have left.
No, that probably would have made him a real man.
Right.
So,
That's what most men do. They leave.
that woman is blessed to have him.
She is one
Blessed to have him.
blessed. Now listen, you know how older people say, I'm blessed and highly favored?
Yeah.
She is definitely
Correct.
living up to that right there.
absolutely.
And I don't know how she can never make that up to him. There's always something in the back of, because cheating always puts something in the back of your head.
Right.
It always leaves something sitting back there. And one thing we as women, we know that when women cheat, even when she get 70 and in the church and she the mother of the church, she still get whispered about being the mother of the church who got them children, named her husband children, and she a cheater. That stigma follows us all the way to the grave. But it doesn't follow men, and I never understood that. I never understood like why men get away with it, but women do it, but women want to be victims. I have a lot of women. I know women who have literally cheated on their significant others, and then they want to be the victim.
Or did he cheat first?
Just because he cheat, don't
Right.
Just because he cheat, don't mean you should.
Right.
I
You're
do
right.
the reason
That
that
is.
they say,
That is
a
payback.
woman say when they cheated. I know that's why I did it. I'm gonna just put my hand up. I mean, it for me it was revenge, and that wasn't the right thing to do. But that's most of the time if a woman cheats,
It's
like you said,
revenge
it's
cheating.
emotional. It's revenge cheating. It had nothing to do with the guy. You didn't put a face with a body part, but most of that's what it is.
Well, how you
And
know
then you
you're
get-
blocking your blessing for doing that?
Correct. I know none of that's right. But
Neither side is correct. However, when we're dealing with people's emotions, if a man cheats and a woman feels definitely some kind of way about it, they feel like I have to do a one up on you, or I have to meet you at your level.
right.
When you go low, I'm going low with you.
Right.
So if I'm going low with you, then I'm gonna do the same thing. It may not, and for a woman, they may not It's about having feelings involved when they do the same thing that a man does.
Right.
Payback. You getting that one up because he did it.
Mhm.
So let me show you how it feels if when you cheat on me, when I cheat on you. So now what?
Okay,
That's
so go ahead.
That's childish.
That's childish for the man to cheat in the first place.
Exactly, but they both childish. So now you got a daycare to go sit in.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
But
You
okay,
both child, but-
okay.
And at the end of the day, so like she was just saying, that man can get away with it.
Mhm.
But once that woman go out like that, you're gonna be labeled that for the rest of your days.
Right, but I'm gonna label you the same thing. Some women, that's what a man does. That's what we heard grandma say. That's what a man does, and you shouldn't do what a man does. But see, I was raised totally different. So I'm gonna give you the women in my family was like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So dish what you're able to take, and if you're not able to take it, don't do it to me, because I promise you, it's gonna come back.
So let me ask you this: what if a woman cheats first?
It's the same thing. I don't think we should define. It don't matter if it's a woman or a man. What are you cheating for? Why are you saying, well, hey, this is not working for me. We done talked about X, Y, Z, and then let's both go our separate ways.
that would be an adult thing.
Right, but it
That's
doesn't happen
not-
very rarely. Did you hear that happen? Right. So I don't give a pass to either one of them. Both of y'all wrong.
So now we're both of y'all wrong. Then let's, as you say, let's go to the daycare. Let's sit in the sandbox,
Right.
and then let's play together and figure this
Everybody
out.
take out their
So
swords.
you
Let's go.
did. You hurt me. I hurt you. So
Where we going?
Most men can't figure that out.
No.
Most men can't
And why is
handle
that?
that.
Why can't y'all take what you dish out? You want to kill everybody, the man, the dog, the cat, the bird. If you can find the roach in the house, you're going to kill that too. You want to kill everybody.
Everything gotta go. Maybe even you.
Maybe because she cheated. So
Yeah.
Oh.
You can do that.
I'm
So
going to
Mr.
tell you a
Marina said you get who you are.
You get who you
Like
want.
who you are as a person, that's what you tend to attract. I'm assuming that's what it means.
I
don't know. Maybe that's not what he means. I don't know what he means. Let me see.
No, it ain't because listen, and we'll go back to the conversation very briefly, and
Oh.
I'll let Seesaw. We'll go back to conversation very briefly because are you putting what you putting your best on the table? Everybody not putting their worst on the table when your first meeting, right? So as you start moving on, stuff start unraveling, and you start noticing. So I'm asking the question: hey, how many baby mamas you got? How many relationships you been in? Have you been married? This, that, and the third. But a lot of times, this generation has ruined dating. It ain't even dating no more. It's who you can get and who you can come from at this point. So it's a whole bunch of hunting going on, and I'm not talking to afterwards. You don't. It's bad. But the sad part is we think it's young people now. Y'all over.
I was gonna say it ain't necessarily young people because
Y'all-
the old been doing it too.
And then it's us that's out here, some of us out here that's 40 and up, that's high and say, we ain't doing half the stuff that young people doing. No, I'm begging different.
Yeah, okay, so not being devil advocate, but there are women in our age group who are married and they do
And say,
they slide to the hotel and stuff like that after they leave these nightclubs with men, or they're going on cruises, or they're going on vacation. They just not snapping pictures, but it's not with it, right?
yeah.
No, we're not gonna get you, girl.
No.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you saying? Hold on.
I'm gonna say this about girls trip.
Hold on. Let me say this right quick. Hold on. I would admit, some women say they're going on a girls trip and they're not on a girls trip. They are with their guy. So that part is true. We're saying no, because we have been on girls trips and it was all girls. But there are women that say they're going on a trip with the girls
Right, sure.
and they're really not.
Yeah.
They really going to meet a man.
But it ain't
And there
also-
are men that say going on,
That's right.
yeah. And
That's
then
right.
there are
Both
me,
ways.
and yes, both
Right,
ways.
both ways, yeah.
Yeah, we know it go both
Right,
ways,
right.
but
That's
we
a
don't.
character issue.
Yeah.
That's a character issue.
Because listen, I'm not gonna cover for you. And
I'm
you get
48
caught, that's
years
on
old.
you.
I'm
I'm not.
48, right?
Yeah.
You, whatever, how old you ladies are, 23, whatever it is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's
Okay.
right. So good.
Here's the deal. When you're going out cheating, you 48, you got a husband at home, you got a wife at home. That's nothing but character issues. That you've been doing that since you've been a teenager.
Yeah.
And you have not you're still childish. You have not let that go yet.
Right.
And that is simply on you. What happens here a lot of times, just to get biblical, I don't want to dig too far into that,
No,
but
go ahead.
a lot of people ain't equally yoked. They ain't equally yoked.
Right.
If people are not equally yoked,
Correct.
you know what? My job, most of us men, we think, I'm gonna hit that, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna do that. Then you build that relationship because you ain't got sense enough to say, hey, this is just what it is. You get her feelings involved, and now she thinks she has something with you. The whole time you've been lying, and she got this over here. Now your girl find out. Now you're in a whole whirlwind of a mess.
Okay.
And now she cheats,
Yeah.
and now you're in the sandbox trying to figure it out. And 95% of the men ain't gonna sit there and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you. Let me speak for me. I ain't gonna speak for the rest of the men. I ain't staying. I gotta go
Yeah.
because I can't deal with that.
Right.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm not that dude.
Now I can say this. I have witnessed women, not me, because people think we be perfect talking about ourselves sometimes. We're not. But I have witnessed women who have a good guy, but they don't like a good guy.
But define a good guy.
Whatever that good guy is to them, because there is no, that's putting someone in a box. So whatever quote unquote they consider the good guy.
Mhm.
But I'm just gonna give an example. Now this could be someone else's good guy, but I'm just saying he could be a man that he's not really a clubber. He doesn't do certain things, but he's a great provider. But those things is good, but they want more. So then they become sneaky and want to cheat with the quote unquote bad guy. Now, what would you consider a bad guy? He could be a dude that barely works. He could be somebody that's fun, because to be honest, a lot of times, and I'm just gonna say this for real, a lot of times the guy that's real fun, and I'm talking about you just have fun, he makes you laugh. Normally time he has a lot of women and he doesn't really work on a stable job. I'm not gonna say he don't work, but he ain't stable. He's not a stable man. You understand what I'm saying? But God knows, baby, when y'all can get in them car, y'all gonna laugh from here to down the road, because he's fun. But he has time to be fun because he has never took life serious. And that's normally the man that sneaks in and sleep with somebody's woman.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like the class clown, the big guy, the fat guy that's fun. It doesn't matter about his shape, his body size, his type, his color. If he's fun and he makes that person feel, and so that's where communication happens at home. Because if you're a person, like we said, unequally yoked, but if you're a person that is starting to date or in a relationship or just start a relationship or been in a relationship a long goddamn time and done miss, hey, listen, we ain't dated. This is getting boring. I'm getting tired of just coming home and going in the kitchen and yay, good. You understand what I'm saying? That mundane thing that you do every day. Sometimes you gotta just stop and say, hey, let's go outside in the car, we'll get the kids in there, and let's, what you say, Hunch, in the car.
It's in the lack of communication.
I'm just saying,
You're right.
do some things that is fun. Yeah, but do some things that is fun to get that back, because what happens is here come Mr. Funny, Mr. Cool Guy, Mr. Funny, maybe Mr. Best Dressed. You know what I'm trying to say? He's always got some swag with him. It's always about them jokers with that swag. But he lacked. I'm telling you what he lacked: a home.
A good foundation. How about that?
You mean you talking about the guy that's gonna use your car, drop?
Yeah, like he lack a lot. Like Mr. Swag tends to lack a lot of things. Now I know when Sid and the other guys here, they probably disagree with me on that, but I just believe.
No, you read on it.
I just believe that the guy who has the most swag, he tends to lack some serious responsibility.
Now, wait a minute.
Not all of them.
Now, okay, because my husband got some swag.
Yeah, but
he dress up. All the women's be turning, and I'm like, you, you better get in the corner.
No, she's talking about unstable creatures. Oh.
Yeah, I'm talking about
I'm
unstable.
very stable. I don't
Those guys
know
can be unstable. Those guys can be, because like you said, they have no cure in the world.
No,
I
at all.
A lot of us.
On to the next.
A lot of us have a lot. We have to
Right.
read.
to the next house.
And
They just
Exactly.
doing
And your
that.
credit.
Okay, so we know about those guys, right?
Yeah.
So now we got the opposite. We're gonna switch over to the women. So now we have the women who have literally, she wasn't born bad, but she sure paid and got bad.
Oh my.
And she bad now. We can't take nothing from her. Everything is sitting. Everything is sitting. Waistline is snatched. Booty is round.
And she younger.
And she younger. And she younger.
Been ran through.
She might have been, but it doesn't matter. She has rebuilt the engine.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because
Yeah.
we
They're
wanna
not.
see
They're
it.
not looking. They're not looking at if it's ran through. There are a lot of, you know,
A V8, the bitch got a V8.
I'm not playing with y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something which is funny. My son went to work at the auction yesterday, and he said, "Ma, I realized that later in the evening, the good looking cars come through, but they raggedy."
Oh. Well.
And he said a lot of the guys, he said, and he said this was one of the white guys that was helping him at the auction yesterday. Say, "Oh, this is the time the dope boys coming by these cars."
'Cause it looked good.
But he didn't say dope boy. He
Right.
said hood guys.
Yeah.
He said this one time the hood guys come and buy these cars. Now I say all that to say I'm using that as a metaphor, even though that was a true statement. I'm saying what happened. The metaphor is so these type of men go get these outside look good, but the inside good and raggedy.
Right.
But it looks good when he pull off in a Maserati. It doesn't matter if it's raggedy. You see what I'm saying?
So you saying he got a Maserati with a Hyundai engine?
Oh, that was my Honda. I'm gonna come over here and look at some of the comments.
Sherka said only lames care about body count. That's little boy shit. Yeah.
Okay.
That's little boy shit.
What you mean, care about body count?
Can you elaborate, Sherka?
You know what she's talking about. She's talking about women who
So
have
she don't mind
slept
having
with
100
20
men
men.
under her belt.
She
That's
can
what she
elaborate.
said.
Oh,
I
that's
ain't gonna speak for her.
disgusting.
Look, Monique stuck on the V8.
I don't know.
If y'all have questions, type in us on me and y'all know it's y'all. Come. It's y'all show. What do y'all want to know about women and
Yeah, I want to know what she just said.
What she saying?
Is it okay for a woman to have a bunch of body
is it
count?
okay if a woman has a bunch of body counts? I don't think it's okay. I mean, you just turning every door knob that they come your way.
Exactly.
Everybody knock on the door, you gotta open it.
You're a drive-through movie theater.
Well,
Well,
if you did some strange things with some change,
well,
right? And that's what you saw.
yeah. Growing
Okay,
up.
growing up, okay.
Mhm.
And you didn't know better, and if no one told you that your body's your temple,
That's true too. Come on,
Okay.
Fred, with the Bible.
okay, so then that
That's
would
what
be
you
that's what you know and that's what you do.
But when you know better,
But when you know better, you do better,
correct.
right?
Mhm.
Right.
But and also a lot of women that sleep with a lot of guys, they're in survival mode. Let's just call a spade a spade.
Yes.
They're in
No,
survival. No, hear me out on this, bro.
Yeah.
Hear me out on this.
Hear him out.
Hear me out.
Go ahead, elaborate.
That's what I said, I'm gonna hear him out.
Hear me out.
Go sit up there.
A lot of younger women come in, right? And they heard their mama and their auntie say, especially in my days when I was growing up, if that nigga ain't got no car, no money, you don't fuck with him. You need that poor nigga.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now. When I was
Listen
growing
to
up,
that.
I played football. I went to college under scholarship. Sex was slim to none for me. It was slim to none. But all my friends that was selling dope,
Mm.
they had all the
Body
women.
count.
They had all the women, right? And those women were sleeping with those men because they lived in the Coke and Bean, they lived in the Palm. They coming to school just to get lunch. So they were surviving.
All of them was surviving.
Oh, they was surviving.
Not
Not
all of them. A lot of them was entertainment
Yeah,
too.
now some of them, some women are promiscuous. We just gotta call it a spade, right? But a lot of women that sleep with a lot of men, they are in survival mode. They ain't got a pot to piss in the window out. They go home with their mom, and their mom treat them like shit.
Woo!
They go home with their dad treat them like their dad. So that's survival mode,
Right.
right? And brother, believe it or not, a lot of us like that. That's why we go sell dope, because I'm tired of you niggas walking around here looking like this, and I look like that. That's what happens a lot of times, right? But that's not all women. Some
Come on,
women,
here.
That's not all of
some
them.
women are just promiscuous.
Yeah.
And
Some women are
and
whores.
they like to have sex.
They
Straight
Sometimes
up.
you don't make excuses for
Yeah,
all of
I'm
them.
not
Some
making
of them
all
are
of them. I'm not making
Some
all
of
of
them
them.
make
You
more.
can never put everybody in the basket.
You
Yeah,
can't.
you put them in the basket, but
Yeah.
some
But
of
you
them,
are
baby,
making a good point.
But that's what that goes for male and female.
Right.
Correct.
That's
They
why I
both-
know they
they
came
both-
up in a poor home,
That's
so the guys not gonna sell drugs, do whatever they gotta
Yeah.
do
right?
to make a living. Because they don't want, man, I ain't gonna be struggling like my parents
Exactly.
did, working at 9 to 5 and only bringing home $200 a week. We
Exactly.
understand that.
Right. I
But-
got it.
That ain't every woman is doing that either. They
That's
doing
not
it because they
everyone.
like love laying on their back. That's
Right.
plain and simple.
Yo, it's
Some
some
of them.
whores. There's some.
So this is my thing. So if you find a good wholesome woman, and you know that, hey, I'm still ready to dabble in Nikki. This is the other thing we talked about. Why come in and lie and say, hey, this is baby, listen, I like you, but I'm not ready to commit to anything. I don't have it to give to you. I'm driving my grandma's car because she got insurance and I got to park mine around the back because they about to report that kind of stuff. But it's the lies that get you here, and then further you 6 months in, and he don't lie to you just all up until this time, and you're thinking he's somebody that he's not, and then y'all don't stuff together.
Yep.
Right, and then she don't figure this out, and then she's like, "Well, hell, I can't deal with you because you this," and then it's on to the next one. So that too can cause you to get a
She was deceived.
high body count.
I got on that body count, Nita. There was a comment said, regardless, a high body count is a high body count, and body counts matter to the vast majority of us.
I can't speak for women, but for men, body counts matter.
It
Well,
matters.
I'm just saying what.
And Steve, if I meet a woman and I think she got a high body count and I'm gonna sleep with her, she's convenient to me. I'm gonna sleep with her when I want to. I'm gonna go on my time. It's not gonna be we going out to dinner tonight. Hey, I'm swinging through. I'm gonna stop by. That's what it comes to.
And I don't want a woman. I want a woman that I can take around and every man like, dang, I want that. I want that. I don't want a woman that every man like, I done hit that. And they sit back laughing at us. Everybody done hit that. You ain't got nothing. You don't want to just scoop up the whole of her hand and take care of it.
Okay, so I had a young lady say too, it's guys out here that still lie on they what you call it? They ain't slept with you.
That is very
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
So the street saying, hey, because you popular or you around the way girl, you always hanging with dudes or this, that, or the other, whatever the reason is.
right.
Oh, dog, I don't had that. You ain't been nowhere near.
Oh, we know niggas gonna lie.
Well, yeah. So so that happened. I'll just say that happened. But you know, those type of guys, they lie about
They
it.
homeboys.
But now that they lie about everything.
Exactly.
They lie about their job. They lie about where they live. They lie about their car. They lie about everything.
Gotcha.
So
So
those-
young
what
lady
they're
was
saying is not credible.
She
You know
was
that guy.
saying in there, and I think she said she was 32, and she said in that age group it'd be a whole bunch of lying. I'm like, well, I don't know if they still doing it at 48, but
They might be.
yeah, I heard
Who knows?
she said.
If he's still childish, then yeah, he's doing that.
So,
Oh Lord, they said them
Right.
called. Lord, they said that's called tricks.
yeah, she was too tricky.
They say them called tricks. Oh God. Guys got high body counts too. They be hunching out of both draw legs. Okay.
Both.
Not the both draw legs. And out of both box.
Here's my take on that. So a man can have a high body count and can have the same similar situation going on that the female has had. But again, with the double standards and it's out there in the world, we can't deny it, we can't run away from it. The man is still not considered a hoe. He's just out there experimenting, he's out there exploring, he's out
He
there
does
having
standards on
fun,
everything.
and
That's
he's
called
out there
right.
being a man.
He's
right?
a homemaker.
Okay.
Now can I?
But a woman can have the same or similar upbringing, right? And she's labeled a hoe.
Yes.
And that
Why
person,
is that?
that person can be a lawyer right now, but have been through some things, and you know what I'm saying, growing
She
up,
had the script
trying to
to
figure
get
out- she had some strange things, some changes.
There you go.
And so now she's at this level, but yet you can't forgive that part of her past because you feel this way. And what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to the past, right? Why can't the past just be a life lesson, a learning lesson? Why does it mean that my past has to define who I am today?
It take a mature man.
Yeah. Most of the time with us women, we date out of town then.
He's like negative.
I'm being funny, but you know what I'm saying?
Talking about you being.
Well, that's how we're told to go out of town to find a
Yeah,
girl.
just go out of town and date somebody. There's no dating in local neighborhood.
Negativity sex sells. Negativity. They're gonna talk bad about you because they hate you. Because you don't went through your phase. You don't went through law school. But that whole thing, she better than everybody. I remember when she used to like think that one. Right?
They don't do
This
that.
one and that one, right?
Yeah.
But she ain't gonna see you for your work now. She's gonna she's gonna hold what you did. You know why? Most of the time they probably doing little projects that talk like that. They probably got 10 kids, like 12 different men.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? and they don't understand the struggle you've been through.
But what about the man perspective? So the man meets a woman who has a track record,
Uh-huh.
right? And then that woman's honest and say, "This is how many men I slept with." Because I guess I don't why I don't know. Body count matters to y'all. So when it comes to that specific number,
Mhm.
and you ask why is that number so high, and
Okay,
you
girl.
explain yourself,
Your touch
is
is
that
amazing.
explanation enough, or is that where you stop and say, you know what, I'm gonna walk away?
No, let's just be honest. For most men, body count don't matter. They're gonna lie. I know a lot of guys won't agree with me on this. Body count don't matter. If I live in Eatonville, Florida, or Orlando, Florida, and I met a woman that had a high body count, and I decide I'm gonna take her to a place like Bridgeport, Connecticut, where I'm from, where nobody knows her,
We just said
we're
that.
gonna be just fine.
Yeah, that's what we just
That's
said.
what I
We're gonna be
just said.
just
I
fine.
just said.
Yeah.
But
We're gonna be just
like
fine.
I say, if she's the whore in that town, and
I don't
you
want to deal with it. I'm with you.
In that
There you go.
town. You was gonna take, that's what I just said. When
Yeah.
you were saying that, I said, all she gotta do is move away.
That's all she gotta do is move. She can be anybody she wants.
Just move away. Who cares
just
if
don't go
they
back
say
to her
that?
town and walk to the park with her.
Right, because then they be like, oh, you
Yeah.
that.
You think you
That
got
whole got a husband.
Yeah.
There's been a whole housewife.
Look at
The
Joanne.
man became a housewife.
Somebody else turn us to housewife.
That nigga done bag
Yes.
it when he think he got something.
But can I
Right.
say this, guys? And y'all tell me what you guys think as men. What do you think of this? So, men, since we're on the subject of cheating, so men are just having body count. So we know for a fact that men can have a high body count. Weird as it may sound, but when a man have a high body count, meaning that a lot of women want him, do you know more women want him?
Yeah.
And more women want to open their legs to him.
Mhm.
They may deny, they may be on these lives right now or on YouTube saying that is not true, but it is true. When a man is popular,
Yes.
more women open their legs to him.
Because you want the alpha guy.
And you want to, right,
He's the
and you want to be
alpha
able to
guy.
say
And you want the
you,
lifestyle.
and you want to really be able to say you was the one who bagged him,
Correct.
especially if you get him. Like
Right.
he's like it's something about the competition.
Trophy.
Right.
Yes, of getting them.
You
Yeah.
think women think they cat is so different from every other cat.
Oh,
And they do, they really do.
You think your cat
I just saw my daughter this week.
Your cat ain't different from
It ain't
nobody
no
else.
No,
cat.
it's
Wait,
home.
wait, wait.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's a hole. It's a hole.
It's a hole.
It's a hole.
You know,
It's a hole, though.
You do something
Like a
different.
nigga with a shovel.
You do something different. You do something different.
And then you know, this the funny thing
You
is,
may ask a little
the
over
funny
there.
thing is when a woman thinks that, she always tends to. That's the first thing she do to
Yeah.
bash the other woman.
Yeah.
Well, he wanted me, obviously.
Right. You
I-
want to go so bright.
I was better. You went, no, you got a hold
No,
to.
you got a hold to.
You gotta hold
It's
to.
the
You just let
same
us
damn
dig in
thing,
here.
different body, and you do things different.
Yeah, you just do
They
it
ain't doing
different.
nothing different than somebody else. Woman ain't
You
making
right,
it.
it's a
That's
whole-
all
it's
different.
a whole-
You ain't gonna be doing nothing. And she ain't gonna sit with.
Right.
If you on the live and you want to sit fan, let me take my phone. My head.
So what you saying?
You get Biggie Boss of the shower rod. There you go.
Oh my God! So when
That's all.
when she said, all you around here doing is throwing the woman pH balance off.
That's it. That's it.
I can't with you
Hey,
guys.
I'll tell you something.
I
why
can't
not
with you
to- why
guys.
not
It's
to sleep
funny.
around. And the black community ain't.
That's true.
They might be mad at me about what I'm getting ready to say.
No, go ahead and
They
say
mad
it.
every week, so it's okay.
They already mad. They mad at us all the time. Okay.
Being molested.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So Big Mama, our mama, don't you tell nobody what the hell going on in our house.
Right.
Don't you tell nobody. He ain't do that. They'll always come up. He's a favorite uncle or a favorite aunt because it's both ways. And we won't ever say anything. And when that child's been molested, guess what happens? She carries on that because that's her comfort at that. That's
I've
her
heard
comfort
that
for that
before.
pain,
I've heard that.
right?
Oh,
But it's right. We'll never talk about that because just be honest. We growing up, you better not walk that damn door and tell me nothing about what happened in this house.
absolutely.
So and you're seeking love and validation.
And now
So
that's right.
right. And so you're seeking some type of forgiveness from somebody that you don't even know.
Correct.
So-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know, you stopped me, I'm sorry.
You're right.
Listen, but when it comes no, listen. But what I'm saying is that the when you're looking for, again, a love and validation and you're seeking for forgiveness from somebody that you don't know, however, what we have been speaking on for the past lives is being able to be comfortable, to be open and honest, to tell that man about your past, so that man
That's right.
knows how to not only deal with you, but know how to communicate with you.
Mhm.
And that's the thing that we have to change. We have to change in the way that we communicate
Yes.
and allow the opportunity for forgiveness instead of feeling guilt and feeling deceived because you were never told or informed about what you had been through.
Right.
I really think that when we go out, we just go out for the sake of going out, right? We don't go out for the sake of getting to know each other, right? We only getting to know each other for the present day, who you are, what you stand for us today.
Mhm.
But we don't ask about your past, right? Because no one thinks about that your past is important. But it very much is, right? Because your past affects your present. And if I don't see that your past you have not changed your present that reflect your past, then now we may have a problem. And as a man, I should have the choice to be able to walk away,
Right.
which is what we have been discussing, right?
Right.
So saying that to say we have to change the narrative because, as you said, whatever happened in the house stays in the house.
Correct.
Right, so you still have that mindset in the back of your mind that said, how can I even disclose what I've been through when all along no one has never heard my story,
Right.
right? So if no one ever heard my story, how can I tell a man that I don't even really know if I can even trust telling him my story? Is he gonna be able to receive it? So therefore, I am stagnant into who I am today because I can't ever get past my past, and I can't move forward because I can't speak on it.
So I saw an episode of
It's in my past.
Yala. I mean, there was an episode, and there was a pastor on there. Now this pastor had been with multiple women. There were two outcomes to that story. So the pastor had been with multiple. He had been with multiple women, but when she got to the root of why are you sleeping with all these women? You got a beautiful wife here. Why are you sleeping with all these women? The root was he was molested, right? He was molested by he wasn't molested by I can't remember. I don't want to lie. I don't remember if he was molested by a male or a female. But the point is he was molested, and for him, how he processed of I am a man's man, and I want to say it was a man. How he processed that I am a man, I'm not a gay man. He knocked down every woman that gave him a look.
Correct.
And he never, what you just said, which is so true, he had never told that to his wife. So in that room, she had the husband and the wife, right? And when he had to tell his wife, she said, I never knew this about you. They had already got 3-4 kids. They had already started a life. And he never told. So she never understood the root to why he felt to need to be with all these women.
Wow.
But back to what we were saying in the last episode,
Right.
it's easier for you to open up your legs, to open up your mouth and talk about that
Easy to pull
before
out your penis.
Because
but
that's
you
what he
open
did.
your legs too, so it don't
Yeah,
both
both
ways.
ways.
Yeah,
So,
both ways.
and
That-
when he pull out his penis, don't mean you got to jump on it either.
That's true, but when you've been married and you had 3 kids, you never knew that man has been
Yeah, she never
that
knew.
trauma.
She had
She
never
never knew that
But you still
pastor had trauma
before
and that
all
pastor
that
had But if I don't disclose that, if I'm giving you a facade, that's what it is, right?
Right. That's
I'm
what he
giving
gave.
you a
Before
facade
that.
of what I want you to see.
all of that.
Okay? So if I'm giving a facade of what I want you to see, then if I'm up here doing X, Y, and Z, you're trying to figure out as a woman, is it me? Is it something I'm doing? Am I too ugly? Have I gained weight? Have I did this? Have I
Yeah,
did
it
that?
plays emotionally.
What, right. So we play emotional tricks in our mind and say, what can I do to be a better
Better
woman?
woman.
What can I do to be a better wife for my husband? But all along, it's the husband needs to
He had
work
issues.
on who he is, but you didn't know what the hell he had been through because he had never
Never
told you.
And
That go both ways though.
We done said it to go
Well,
both
like I said,
ways.
like I was trying to say, you gotta be adult and sit down. If you see this person like, oh, I'm really interested in this person's really interested in me,
Mhm.
before you go to the next level of having sex, we gotta sit down and talk. Hey, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
So
Explain to
this
me
what we're
happened.
saying now is for people who are dating.
Today.
Because we're not talking about people who already been in a relationship, because you should already
We
talk
didn't do
about it.
that.
That's why I
I don't
said
want
before.
to-
That's
right,
why I
right,
said
right.
before.
We weren't taught to do that.
We
Let's be
want to
honest.
talk to do that.
We were not taught to go sit down and have a conversation with a guy
Well, hell, my mama ain't talked to us.
our past.
So,
Right? We didn't
But that's
learn-
why we're here today
Right,
to talk
to tell,
about for the
to tell
future.
these things, right? To
Exactly.
teach each other. So
Yeah.
back to what I was going to say is what we learned is what I learned is by being touched at a young age, it feels good, right?
That's right.
So you gonna go to familiarity whenever until you know better, right? Because I couldn't go and say, hey, Ma, such and such, was filling me up, and he was 18, 19, and I'm 6 or 7.
Right.
Right?
I mean, your
You better
panties
say,
wet.
so Mark, you better not say nothing, you better not do that, this, that, and the third. And familiarity to me made me, I wasn't promiscuous. I got married at 18, but that saved me. But later on in life, it made me look at guys a little bit different. And it made me treat guys a little bit different. But I still wasn't taught properly how to tone it down, how to do this, how to do that. Because most of the time your mama working, she ain't got time to teach you, talking about sit down across your legs and you shouldn't do this or that, or you should talk to a guy this way, this or that. So you learn that stuff by picking it up, right? So am I sitting down at the table and I'm saying, hey John, you know what? On the second or third date, we ain't gonna say the first date because you don't want to scare the man. On the second or third date, you know what? When I was 7 or 8, I was just by the neighbor, and this happened, and that happened. So when do you do it? That's what we talking about.
You do that
When
when
you
that
do that?
relationship is taking the next step.
There is
Thank you, that's what I
That's
was
it. When
saying.
that's it.
Exactly.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Women, girls, not women. Girls experience sex scientifically before any boy. Here, I'm gonna tell you where. When your mama put you in that bathtub and you go up on that water coming out and it, you don't know what you're experiencing.
Right.
You don't know what you're experiencing at that age. But when it happens again when you later, you remember that your brain brings that back. This is what happened there. And then you get involved. And then you got an older man, like 9 times out of 10, that comes in and takes advantage of you as a woman. Now you're a promiscuous woman, right? Now you're sleeping around, now you're doing this. Now, like the young lady said here, I'm a lawyer now. And nobody's gonna forget that past.
Right.
Nobody's gonna forget that past. I'm here. I've done well, I've got past it. Thank God, and glory to God, nobody's gonna forget that past. Nobody ever forget that past. But women, girls have that experience before. Any boy in this world, because it's an open wound, and you gotta take it back. Your mother put you in the tub. You go on. I'm telling you, that's science. That's a fact, and that's why
That is
women
great that we
are.
have
I
these
can see where
conversations.
you're coming from with that. I can see where you're coming from with that. But as a mother, as myself speaking as a mom, I've taught my young girls on how to hygienically clean themselves and wash themselves so that they know how to go about their day feeling clean and knowing that their body is safe, right? That you just can't give your body away to any Joe, right?
That's right.
But that's me changing the narrative,
That's right.
correct?
That's right.
So, I mean, we can all think back with our aunties and cousins and stuff who said, don't say this, don't say that,
Right.
forgive this person, forgive
Right.
that person, right? Even if you have not been through, but you know about it, you're gonna say, and you better not say nothing
Right.
either, right?
Right.
So now, even though you may not have experienced it, you've seen it. So now you still have these wrongful, malicious things implanted in your brain, even though no one has touched you,
Correct.
correct? So what we're trying to do, the whole purpose of doing this is to change the
Change the
narrative.
That's what this is here for, to change
Forward
it,
with-
not for just
And
entertainment.
be able to
But
communicate.
I said that today on the live, like a lot of our children don't know because we shelter them. And I have to admit, I shelter my kids from hard knocks. They don't know what it is to struggle. So the first time my daughter seen the light bill, she didn't have the money to pay it. She freaking out. And I'm like, yeah, $200 something. Girl, listen, ask for the extension. What's wrong with you? That kind of stuff, because they never really had to deal with anything. And then when it comes to guys, you can tell your kids a lot. Because I told them a whole bunch of things, but I did the opposite.
And it's, you know what? Trial and error. You went through it so they didn't have to go through it.
Right.
That's the bottom line. You went through what you went through, so your daughters and your sons don't have to go through
Right.
what you was exposed
Correct.
to. And if you don't say nothing,
Right.
shame on you.
Correct.
Shame on you.
Correct.
So question how do we teach the next generation behind us and some of the new generation and some of the generation right now, some of us, because how do you date?
How do you date?
Starts with a man.
Yeah, how do you date? Like, because You got people out here still don't know how to date. They really think, dating is
Sexual and sexual encounter.
sexual encounter. They don't know that I could go out to
Here's
dinner
something,
with you. I
a
could
guy
go
said
to the
it
movies
perfectly.
with you. They don't know that that is considered dating, and you're not considered a whore if you went on 4 dates in one day, as long as you're not having intercourse.
That's right.
Right.
And that's why women, that's why y'all kill me when y'all call every man a king.
Oh,
Oh,
Women, y'all
I ain't
kill me.
saying that.
Y'all
You're
kill me
saying
with that. Y'all kill me with that. Because you got a 48,
Yeah,
50-year-old,
you're right.
55-year-old man. Y'all call him a
He don't
king.
know how to change the
Hey.
fire on the car.
Y'all giving
woman
a
ain't
prince
queen
king
either.
title. That's what y'all doing.
If y'all call
give
if
prince
women
king
call
title.
themselves a queen quicker than a man will call himself a king.
Uh-uh.
I hear women all the time. I'm
Yeah.
a queen. I'm a queen. I'm a
You
queen.
see.
You know, queen.
Yeah.
She's
Some of
she's
some of
still a
their
princess.
some of their crowns.
Exactly.
She's just a
I
little
hate
princess.
when I hear this women. Oh, I'm a queen. I'm a queen.
You got a 50-year-old princess.
Yeah.
What you say?
Believe it or not,
Some of their crowns is still in the box. Some of their
No,
crowns is still in the
it
box.
looks like you put the quarter in and spit it out, and that's what come out of damn sword. That's what
Because
Yeah.
I think
Stop.
okay, guys, we as black people, like we can really say this. We jump on everything that is trending.
It get on my
And
nerves.
so it's trending to say king,
Hey, queen.
it's trending to say queen,
I'm a diva.
and it's like all of that. And do you know,
I'm a diva.
and I need,
Working at McDonald's.
no, but I need people to really understand what a diva is. Do you know a
Diva's
diva?
devilish.
Right. I need you to
Yeah,
understand.
That's why
Stop
I don't.
saying
I
that.
hear my
So a
kids say
diva,
that.
so a diva is devilish.
Yes.
Explain. I mean,
No,
explain.
I'm gonna be honest with
In
you
the
guys.
Bible, it's
Explain.
devilish.
Okay,
Listen,
so okay, what
I
does
used
that
to
mean?
call myself on Instagram. This is no lie. So I used to say hair diva. That used to be my Instagram.
Mm.
I literally. Oh, wait a minute. I literally took that off and I put K Experience because I realized that first of all, a diva. First of all, she's a Jezebel.
Correct.
Correct.
So is diva a word in the Bible?
Yeah.
She's a Jezebel.
That's why I want
No,
the Beyonce
Jezebel.
singing this.
It's the diva word in the Bible.
I
That is what we
no.
interpret it as.
I personally have not found it in the Bible, but
Not
when I went and found the name diva, I went to the encyclopedia
Definition, exactly.
and
Yeah.
I found the definition of diva. I hurry up and changed my name.
Did it say Jezebel?
No, but the things that she done was Jezebel like.
Exactly.
And I didn't want to be considered anything like that. And I gotta be careful. We gotta be careful what we're even calling ourselves.
Correct.
So I said, oh no. Because first of all, I'm not that type of woman. When I read the definition of what she was, I didn't want to be her. So let me just let you have this
But
experience.
Beyonce say diva, everybody say it's okay.
But
Beyonce
it's
say
not okay.
It's not okay.
Not okay.
I want if my kids say something.
And most
I
women-
don't know how to dress like a diva, so
No, but
I
most
ain't
women,
gonna
it's not even about the dressing. The diva is
Yeah.
what is her entitlement.
Yep.
What she feels she's entitled to. Most women, and when they say, "Oh, she's such a diva," they're not saying a good thing.
Correct.
They're saying if she comes, that she's entitled, that she has to have everything. You understand what I'm saying? There's an entitlement that comes with that name, diva, and that was the reason why I took it
Correct.
off
I
my
always
social
knew
media.
that, and I hated the word. I hate.
So
the word.
that's why I don't
Yep.
use it. So I get it.
But then you got, like I say, entertainment people pushing that word so hard to the
Well, we
regular
push
people.
a lot of words. We
Yeah.
push manifestation,
Correct.
and then they don't really know what they're saying
That's
when
the
they
thing.
say
People
it.
are not taking the time to go back. Oh,
They don't.
she pushing this word diva. Let me see what diva is.
Well,
Oh, well, Beyonce said, I'm gonna put that on a shirt and I'm gonna ride with it.
Well, yeah,
ain't no difference was using the word the N word. So why are we
Correct.
still using that?
Correct. But that's a word
Yeah,
the
but we
white
didn't-
man put
yeah,
on.
so-
Don't
we
say
didn't
don't say it's a
It's a
power
word
of
white man.
endearment. It ain't.
No, it's a word the white man put on. But diva, like I said, that's nothing good.
As a woman, just as
Exactly.
women, just don't call yourself that. You ain't no diva.
You ain't no diva. You should think highly of yourself.
And if your crown is still in the box, you ain't a queen yet.
I totally agree.
If your crown is in the box, you ain't a queen yet. And stop calling yourself a
What?
queen,
What you do, put a quarter
and
in?
you're doing peasant-like stuff.
Spit it out and one of them toys with
There you
it.
go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Thing you open up.
Did y'all hear what I said?
Hit it on your
Did
damn
y'all hear me?
No.
Stop calling yourself a queen when you do peasant-like stuff.
Exactly.
I agree.
Stop calling yourself a king and you don't have a castle to take nobody to.
Come on here.
You got more security.
Oh, okay,
You
okay.
already
Keep
on the
going,
corner.
keep
Y'all want to do more?
Okay, keep digging.
I'm through. I just want you to know.
You ain't got a fill a pot.
I just need to stop saying this is my king and your king moved in your home.
So you're saying it's not his castle?
It's not his castle.
You did that already.
You already had the table.
So you the queen.
Now you done took your crown out the
No.
box.
You got you a jack. So he gonna do whatever you say do. And let me tell you why. And when you done with that jack, you know what they do with the jacks? Feed him to the lions. So you throw him out and you get you another jacket.
Oh.
What
I feel like, you know,
what I will say, this is what I will say,
Upgrade.
because, I mean,
go ahead. Let me read the comments while you do that.
so when, you know, this is my husband, right?
That's
For y'all know, don't touch him, okay? Don't look at him.
You know your husband, girl.
But when I had bought the first house, right? My whole goal was to buy a house because I don't want to live in an apartment, right? At the time, it was just my name on it. He kept emphasizing
Yes,
that my name
yes.
ain't on it, so this
Yes,
this ain't our house.
Correct.
This is your house, right? Right? He kept saying that, and for me being young, I didn't know what the hell was talking about. I'm like, we living together, we paying the bills together.
Right.
It's our house. But he kept saying, no, it's only your name on the house, so therefore it is your house. It is not my house, right?
Yeah.
So once the light bulb went off, once we had got married, once the light bulb went out, well, the turned on, right? I said, shit, we know what the hell, well, let's do it together. But I did not know then. I was still in survival mode by saying, I don't want to live in an apartment because my car got stolen, understand? And I'm tired of listening to Joe Blow stepping on, I can't sleep, you know what I'm talking about? So I just wanted a dwelling where it was just separate from the rest of the place, right?
Yeah.
So, but for him, he said, but this is not ours.
I know that's right.
It's not. He's 100% right.
I know
Your
that's right.
name is on the house.
I know that's right.
Put him out anytime. You can put him out anytime. He has no right to the house until his name goes on
And
there.
to further say what you said, I had a friend girl, and she had an apartment, and then they were dating, and I had to correct her, and she didn't like it, but I pulled her to the side. I didn't do it in front of him, but, you know what I'm saying, but I pulled her to the side. I was like, every time I come over your house, y'all come out. Girl, he on my this and my that and my washing machine, my this, my that. It was always a mine. So I said, why did you invite this man to live here to keep saying mine? I know that'd be like if I had, something happened and I had to come live with you, and you said, gonna leave my this and my that, you're gonna make me feel so uncomfortable. I'm gonna figure out how to get up out of there.
Right.
But see, for me, speaking of personal experience, it was me being able to say, I have finally arrived.
No. I understand
But you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I never use a we or I or you. I never use those terms.
Right.
But for me, it was like I have surpassed what I was living
No,
when I was growing up. But I do understand what you're saying, right? Right? So all I wanted to do was to prove to myself and to others at home that I can do this on my own and be successful, right? And then I can do it with the man who I've been with since I met him in college. To say the truth. Okay?
Right.
All right, 22 years.
No, I get what you're saying, but because we're trying to teach these
Younger people.
and some older ones, because she was
Yeah.
older. She
But it
wasn't
still
old.
starts with a man. At
She
the
wasn't
end of
old.
the day, it starts with a man.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So-
God did not God didn't say a darn thing to eat. He said, Adam, don't y'all forget that. Don't eat that.
No, you don't say something now.
It was Adam's job to go back and lead
Yes.
Eve. But when Adam didn't go say nothing to Eve, you know
Right.
what Eve said?
He
I'm
took
gonna take
over.
charge. Eat this
He
apple.
took over.
Guess what?
She took
It's
over.
all destroyed now. It
Right.
takes a man to start that. It takes a
She
man
took
to
over.
start that.
I'm agreeing.
So you gotta sit down with your children and simply tell them, hey,
the man ahead of
this
the
is what it's gonna be.
Now
the
we-
man is the head of the household, not the woman.
right.
Man is the head of
Tell
the
them one
household,
more time. Say
not
that
the
again.
woman. That's how that works.
Right, camera.
Man is the head of the household, not the woman.
She brought the camera close.
Man is the head of the household, not the woman.
And well, that's
The
a,
woman
that's
is part of the house.
and there's a big problem with there too. So what happens is, so single men that are out there dating, and then they date a woman who has a quote unquote household, and she has been this is where I'm going with this. I said this the other day to a young lady. I said, you do have to understand that when you have a young lady on the phone, and she said she was getting married, and she said the guy said something, and she was like, I told him, well, hey, hold on. I said, friend, this coming from a place of love. I say, but because you never saw a man protect you. Now this man is coming in and say, hey, I don't want nobody to disrespect you. So this how this gonna go. They ain't gonna come in this house and say A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I say you already taking it personal because you don't know what protection look like.
Exactly.
So you already ready to push this man away when he's really coming in trying to protect. You won't. I say you can't ask for the provide and not get the protection. You might not like how it's gonna come, but if this man got your best interest, this man is saying he want to make you his bride, and he got your best interest at heart. Even when it might be your own children that he might check, you're gonna have to receive it because this man is coming from a place that I want to protect your heart, especially when you're laying down with him or not laying with him, whatever you're doing, and you're telling him, this person did this to me, and this person did that to me, and now he comes in and he sees that what you said that you didn't like, and he says, hey, y'all ain't gonna do that.
That ain't happening.
That ain't gonna happen here.
Nope.
I say it's a hard thing. I know exactly how that feels. It was really hard for me to when I got married to see my husband say, they can't do that. And I'm like, nigga, that's my mama. But he was really protecting me from even some of the things that she had done. And he had to protect me. And I was so crazy, I didn't even see that he was protecting me and not, you understand what I'm saying?
Right, because you were comfortable.
I got comfortable
Because you
in
was
the mess.
comfortable, you grew up with
You
that, so
used
that
to
was
it.
your norm,
That's
right?
right.
You didn't know any
That's right.
different.
Right.
It's the same thing.
He said, we gonna
No.
he said, leave
We're
that
gonna
there.
talk a little, but that's the same she when you our
Yes.
protection.
Yes,
So when it's an instant happening in our home,
yes.
I don't care if that is your mom.
Okay.
She's not respecting mom from the South. You're not going to disrespect my wife. You ain't going to disrespect my home and my daughter. So you can carry it back wherever you came from, but
Right.
that's what
It is
happened.
hard to
Yeah, but
receive.
You
It
want
was
it, but you ain't got to
it
come
was
here.
very
Yeah.
right.
Well, she
So
learned that night, but yeah.
it is. You ain't never had nobody do this for you, so you don't know how to receive it. You finna run this man out now. We on the second quarter. I call it the second quarter. So we're in our fifth. We're in the second quarter. So you can't just run this man out. They ain't coming. They ain't coming around.
They
the
ain't
corner
coming back
like
because
that.
they too old.
They ain't coming around the corner like that. We're in the second quarter of life. You understand what I'm saying?
We have to be honest. This is the way we all probably grew up. We listen to respond instead of listening to understand.
Yes.
And when we learn to listen to understand instead of respond, we'll have really good relationships. Our children need to learn that. Our children need to learn that. Every time I'm saying something, you ain't gotta respond. Go in the room and think about what I just said and come back with something if you have to respond. Stop listening to respond and start listening to understand. And we'll be okay.
It sounds good, but if you ain't never
That was you.
right.
That was
you ain't never
You ready to fight. You in fight mode. Because you listen to respond.
Yeah, I
Because
was
that's the
waiting.
way you grew up. That's the habit.
Okay,
What you mean my mama
gotta
got to go?
If you're not gonna be ready, you gotta stay ready.
And I remember saying that. What you mean my mama can't be on here? That's my mama. And in my head, I wish she come home. But I was too scared to tell them. I was too scared to tell them, you know you're right.
Was this your husband at the time?
Yeah, I was like,
You should be defending him, not your mama.
right,
Watch your
no.
house.
No,
Well,
you
you
was-
said I
Yeah.
looked it up with her.
So
But it took me a while to get there. 'Cause
I'm like, she did not say, but she didn't understand it.
Bro, you know what that is? That's the real pillow talk. Not what happened at Tanya. You see Darren cheat on Tanya? That's a real pillow talk. She said,
That's why
your mama
communication
did
is
this,
key
your
now.
mama did that. And this is how
Oh,
we're
we
gonna
had
tie
that
this
talk.
together.
Yeah, we
That's
had
the
that
real
together.
pillow talk.
We
We
had
don't have that pillow talk. We only time we take pillow talk we have as a lot of black people, we only talking about other people in our pillow talk because we got so much crap going on in our life, it makes us feel good when they got
Ooh, now listen,
That's the guys
I,
on the street.
wait,
That's the guys on the street.
wait a
I
minute.
said,
Yeah,
I'm
wait a minute.
busy.
That's the real. That's the real.
Yeah, when you
I
quiet
get out
like
of people-
that.
I'm quiet. I get out of people's business. I don't want to.
And I'm gonna be totally honest, I catch myself doing it. Like I don't mean to do it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I'm just be totally honest and transparent. Especially when I'm in a place with my husband. I catch myself having meager, stupid conversations just to have conversation. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if the conversation got in, yeah, such and such. Yeah, I saw him. They said such and such. And I realize when I get to myself, you really just got to
Worthless conversation. Like
Work,
worthless
I
prayer.
literally was having a worthless conversation.
Worthless conversation like worthless prayer.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it is.
No, it is. It is.
My Lord.
Yeah.
And that was another thing that I stated to the young lady. I said, what you're gonna have to do in the second quarter of life is
She had to remind her she's 80 AARP.
Yeah, AARP.
She
I'm
get
not too.
$55, she get that $1.99.
I'm trying. Ooh, listen, I want to be able to get all that.
I can't use that too.
But what I was saying was, you got to take their perception. I told her, I said, you got to get all the perception off the table. You can't expect somebody to know that you're hungry. You can't expect somebody to know how you feel. I said, you're going to lose a man or he going to lose a woman worried about thinking that you should know. No, they don't know. You got to open your mouth. This is the problem. This is why people don't know how to date. This is what we just said. They don't know how to date because they already perceive.
Right.
He should have known I don't like that restaurant. How the hell he never took you there before?
Right.
How you know you allergic to shellfish and he pull up to the fish house? I'm just saying, you don't know. You ain't tell him. Goes back to what you said. If you ain't opening your mouth and communicating, I'm allergic to fish.
Right.
For 20 years I couldn't get my mom out my house. Everybody felt it stayed with me. I'm just saying, say all this stuff so that this person can say.
At what point do we say that?
Now that I'm in the second quarter of the life, I tell you, say it straight up the first, straight right there. Don't wait. Now see, when we was 17, 18, I didn't know what he said. But this second quarter,
Because you felt that your past didn't define who you are. Because especially if you had changed the norm for you, right? So you was living with dope dealers, pushing weight, and
all that stuff,
right? You doing all that stuff, right? And you run away from that, right? And then you said, "Oh, I have arrived. I already got my degree. I got my career. I'm better. And I got my house. And I got you know what I'm saying." But you have never. But you are in survival mode. You are not living.
Right.
So you're surviving.
Who surviving? Everybody's trying to survive.
But you're surviving and running.
No, it's different. It's a difference.
No, I get what you're saying, but
it's a difference.
What's your point?
You always carry that ball and chain.
my point is, just because you arrived, because you got an education, because I got 50 masters, I arrived. No, you still ain't arrived, because you still ain't better yourself. You still didn't confront your history or whatever, or what you went through as a child. You didn't never confront it. So I don't care how many degrees you got, just because that you might have arrived at a certain salary, but you still sitting at the bottom. You still in middle school. You still in elementary. But growing up to be an adult or confronting what you went through and to get through it, or therapy, whatever y'all want to call it, whatever, you didn't do it.
And why are we
If
there?
only men would know how to do that.
Why are we there though? Why are we there?
If only men knew how to accept that their past affects their present, and they
Women don't got to neither.
and men needs to have therapy as well.
It ain't men, it's a woman and
with
man.
this mental illness, and we trying to accept it, that it's normal, and this, that, and the other, and it's okay to say I go to therapy and this, and the third.
I go every Tuesday at 12 o'clock.
Okay, I have mine twice a month, but at the same time, though, I wish that men would have that to accept that is okay with them, because we are so quick to say, you as a woman, you have trauma, so you need to go to therapy, or this, and that, third. But we cannot say that to a man because a man internalizes their emotions and they don't express it, right?
Right.
Okay. So, but they cannot sit there and say that their past doesn't affect their present.
It does.
And it does, right?
Mm-hmm.
But tell me why men don't want to seek therapy, but they quick to say, yeah, as we go and see a psychiatrist.
Pride.
Yeah, I just say
But
pride,
this-
and that's not a conversation. Let's just totally be honest. We as women would sit around and have those conversations about therapy. Like we talk about it now because it's trending too. It's trending too. And so we will sit around and be like, girl, I'm going to therapy. Therapy. I mean, I look at TikTok, I see 20 therapy people on TikTok. Now I'm like, God, no, everybody in therapy now. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing because it's a good thing. But what I'm saying is the conversations that we as women have are really not the same conversations that men are sitting. They just don't have those same conversations. So I say that to say there are men, there's not a brother sitting with another brother saying, man, you need to go to therapy.
Correct.
Most of the time it's
So then why?
You know what I'm saying?
So then why is my past reflected upon me, but your past ain't reflected upon you?
It is that we just
Because what?
We just hold y'all to a higher standard.
And why is that?
Because your body is a
and
temple.
that's it. And that's the
We're not
thing.
talking about violence. We talking about mental.
No, we being funny. But listen, but it is the same thing. Think about this.
Sure.
Come on now.
You selfish?
Listen, you're a nurse practitioner,
Keep going.
right? More women go to the doctor than me.
Absolutely.
So that'll tell you right there that we already 10 steps ahead of them already. So we're gonna go to the doctor more than them. We're gonna seek therapy.
You gonna live long?
Right, we're gonna live a little longer.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So we're expecting them to catch up with us when we already been 10 light years ahead of us. And I can tell you why we've been 10 light years ahead of them. In the home, especially me, I grew up with sister brother. I ain't, just me and my brother. I watched my mama make me become the mama, meaning the housewife. Because
Are you older than your brother?
no, but she still said, so you take that meat out, before I go, and take that meat out and get it and have that meat ready. George, get up and clean that house. And the only thing I remember telling Robert was on Saturday to cut the grass and stuff. But the household, I was around there with Carmen and A. Jackson and
On a
we see
stepping
that as a
stool
woman's
trying to
job.
fry chicken. I was rich to start
Right.
to cook, but
She
you gonna
might
put
be
a
a
stepping
baby
stool
fry. She might be a baby
to step
fry.
into
We see that
the
as a
chicken.
woman's job. That's
So I say all that to say that already makes us light years ahead of them,
Yes.
even if we're not mature enough to
Right.
realize it. We are light years ahead of them. So this is why when it comes to them processing their stuff, we gonna process our stuff. And sometimes we don't process our stuff. We don't been there, but we can start
So
processing that.
let me
I
ask
want to
you a
get a
question.
chick.
Let me ask y'all. Y'all, are you married? Are you married?
No.
You married? You
Yeah,
guys,
I'm
couple, you married. So I love this brother right here, and very good guy. Y'all been together for 22 years, right? He's been through his stuff. You've been through his stuff. Y'all came together great. And let's just say he don't go. I really believe in my heart you are a leader of your household. I really believe that. And I believe your wife respects you for that.
Oh, good.
But now,
That's good to hear.
y'all got this 22-year relationship. That was talking to me. I want there next week. And I said, no. I set an appointment for both of us to go. And we're gonna go, you don't have to say anything, but we're just gonna start going. So the first time you're gonna go by yourself. And then I'm gonna be out in the car waiting for you. And you can actually lead him to that. I'm just be honest with you. Even though we are the kings of our households and stuff like that, we still need guidance from y'all. We still depend on y'all. See, I'm gonna tell you who I am. I'll go to work. I'll make a whole crap ton of money. I'll pay all the bills. You'll have a great vacation life. I'm just gonna do it.
I can't say that we've been careful together.
Yeah.
But it did. I was the one who made an
Initiate.
appointment to Michelle.
Well, she initiated me coming here tonight because I wasn't coming.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I'm glad you came.
Blood of Jesus.
I
I was working on that. I'm in a hurry.
It's hot. Oh, it's hot. Oh,
I know, but you did good. You better this time, right? You better this time. Okay.
We need that. A lot of men, especially black men, because I can't speak for no white men, but black men, we need that from y'all.
Yeah.
We need that.
They do their part. You do
Yeah,
your part.
right.
That's
Oh,
all.
that's what we
But
are.
it's so hard to find a guy that is like
That
what
deserves
you
it.
just said.
You gonna go through some
Because
bullshit.
when I
first,
tell
you know that.
you,
Tell
I'm
the
saying-
truth.
when I say I want the bullshit right here,
Uh-huh.
I'm drowning. I mean, I'm drowning. I'm
You is tall. You better skin your tiptoes.
no, I'm on my tiptoes too, bro. When I say I'm so sick
And
of
you
shit,
6'4".
I'm 6'4" and I can get in any pool.
I'm with
Yeah,
you.
and walk
And
right
not
on
drown.
through.
And walk right through the damn pool. But when I tell you I'm so sick of these jokes out here with this bullshit that these sit out here covered. I got this, I can do this, I got that, I can do this.
Let me ask you a question.
You should take it to a hole in your backyard.
What kind of nigga you
Oh,
attract?
that's a great question.
Oh,
I'm attracting what you're saying, a provider, they got all this.
Mhm.
But when it comes down to they get comfortable. And it's because I allow them to get comfortable.
Mhm.
So now I'm trying to change that because I can say it's my fault because I'm a dominant person. It was my way or the highway.
Step back.
Right? So when I stepped up and let you lead, I led us to damn near foreclosure.
Oh, you.
Right.
You. I got nothing to say.
All right.
You let him go though, right?
Oh, they so far gone. I can't see.
But okay, let me ask you this, though, Fran, since we're talking about this.
Yes, that's
So
it.
when you met that significant other
I
at
was
that
saying
time,
potential.
that's all I want you to
That's
say.
the thing.
That's all I want you to say.
I'm telling on myself.
Go ahead,
And
Steve.
our
Wait,
age,
Steve
we
got
made-
something to say.
we
Hold
made
on.
potential because we don't. It wasn't about me being by myself. I've been by myself before, and I ain't gonna even say I was selective, but you can't just come to my house because I had a daughter,
Amen.
right? So I was selective about who I dated and who I brought around my kids. If I brought you around my kids, you had high potential,
Yes.
right? Potential ain't gonna keep your ass. Potential
It's
is
not.
not gonna run a house.
But let me tell you probably could have kept that man. I'm gonna help you out right here. You ready?
Listen,
You
I'm
probably
just
could have helped him out.
wait,
Can I get some
You
more?
probably could have kept
No,
him.
no, back that way. I gotta stop some. Sorry.
All men are not good financiers.
You right?
All men are not. Every man is not to have his own business
Okay,
because they can't lead it.
okay.
That's that conversation. Hey,
Okay.
listen, you're not good with finance.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna take care of the finances.
No.
You go work.
Uh-huh.
You make sure this grass is cut. You make sure all the things.
All
As long
that
as he's doing all that, and and if he has sense enough to realize who you are and what you are,
I got some for
he
you.
would have been
I
fine.
got some for
Yeah,
you.
you gotta keep your mouth
Right.
shut on this.
So-
No,
Oh, all that.
he dropped the ball because he didn't.
Oh yeah.
You
But
might
then-
wanna run.
But then you
Like
want
you
to
say,
find,
right,
but then
right.
you want to try to find somebody else
Yeah,
because you had all these stuff. Damn, this swinging off the ceiling
he's a
fan,
narcissist.
right?
I believe it.
Right? Damn, this swinging off the ceiling fan. You had everything you want that, so you gonna f that up to go try to get somebody that could only make.
Oh, so he
$10
did the 20%.
million.
The 80 to 20.
Yeah.
He did the 80
He
20.
went to go get somebody that he can control.
Go with the Cheerio
Somebody he
man.
can manipulate.
Go
Somebody he
with
can say, I
the
got
person that
yeah.
Because you were dominant.
Yes.
Oh,
Because you
But
were the
when I
alpha
gave
in the
you-
relationship.
right. But when I
Probably
gave you the
didn't make
lead,
it
when I let you have it,
You caused us
Made me
almost
feel like
wrong.
that. I don't know.
and
Right.
now I'm still shoveling shit trying to get
But how many years have you been dominant to where you say, okay, now it's your turn, and he's like, well, what the hell? I'm supposed to do shit. You've been doing this for all this time.
you're absolutely correct. And when we had the conversation, you sit down and you talk about these things. So you know what? I've been effing this part up,
Oh.
right? So I'm gonna give you the reins and I'm gonna let you do X, Y, Z. Right? And gave you the reins. Oh, I'm doing this and I'm gonna even set up a bank account because I ain't never had no bank account with no one. Set up the bank account. So I'm looking at the money going in and the money going out, but it ain't going to where the money's supposed to go at.
That was a lack of communication from the beginning.
Somebody say amen because potential is just not enough.
Potential is the
Potential
end.
ain't enough. Everybody got
Okay,
potential.
so
Right.
if a
Potential
man
something.
always say, well, what did you do wrong? I'll tell you what I did wrong. I was trying to be the man and the woman. That
Was you
wrong.
forced to live that lifestyle? So you was forced to do that, right?
Baruti said he's
Well,
confused.
now, when you say force, it's because that's all she knew.
That's all she knew.
Or
That's all I
because
knew.
that was
Right,
the
because that's how my
relationship.
mama
That's how
was.
mama
That's how
was.
my
Don't
auntie
you
was.
depend on
That's
no
how my
man.
Okay, so years have been into this relationship,
Correct.
and now you said, okay, I'm done. Here you go.
No, it when I was done, it was that I saw that what I was doing wasn't working.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna change something else to see if I need to stay here or not, basically.
That's what you did.
And that's what I did. Why I did that, and like I said, damn near foreclosure and damn near.
So Baruti said he was
Texas City.
confused. He said he was not supposed to be comfortable.
That part.
He never.
That part.
He
That
said
part.
confused.
When
He
you
said
He
get
was
was
never
comfortable,
never,
you
supposed
so
get
to
complacent.
even if you were, listen, I grew up dominant, okay? I was like, I'm not doing this X, Y, and Z that they going through. I'm gonna make sure that whatever I'm doing in my life, I ain't gonna never be able to depend on me.
Right.
Understand?
Yeah.
So financially, spiritually, emotionally, if I want that man, it's because he want to be with me,
Right.
not because I have to have him in
Correct.
my life, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's how I moved, right? And I moved like that for a long time. It took him to change my mindset and said, I'm not here because you can financially take care of things. I'm here because I want to be,
Right.
right? Okay, so it
Right.
had to take him to tell me, you need to change your mindset or I'm gone.
So Lord send it.
She said, so Lord, just send him.
And whoever you said, Rudy said a man ain't supposed to be comfortable.
Baruti said, he said he don't understand what he comfortable for.
He should be comfortable. A man should never be
Oh,
comfortable.
yeah.
Because once he's
Lord
comfortable,
send
you can't
him,
grow.
Jesus.
You can't grow.
I'm gonna help you out.
Please.
Please.
You can't grow. If you let that man be comfortable, you
It's my
can't
fault. I
grow.
said it.
Okay.
The therapist said, listen, what she just told me, you sound like a man. For real.
Oh my
Is
God.
that little, is that
But-
inner girl still in you though? Is
Yes,
that little
and
girl,
that's
that
fine.
heart,
See,
that softness?
it is there. The right man before brought those, because I was married before for 14 years. The marriage is very good. So I know how to be soft, submissive, and run a house and do what I'm supposed to do. Watch your tone, all that.
So you institutionalized.
Right.
Right? So,
What if you be the man what if you be the man where you gotta be the dominant person? Let's say he stay home and watch the kids, for an example, and you went to work.
as long as he's doing his part, I don't want to do both roles.
Well, you-
Can I just do one?
That's what you need. You go to work, let him do it. 'cause you-
No, I want to get
I
that
want to have a
soft.
man.
Y'all wanna
Yeah,
get
yeah,
that
yeah.
soft.
I am soft.
I didn't
No,
know.
I don't want you to
I didn't know soft was good. See, because I was hard.
Right,
Yeah.
sorry.
So I'm gonna open my door. I'm gonna do this. Okay, I got this.
You can still be soft and
Let
be
me
the woman
pay
that
these
makes the
bills
bread.
because listen, I'm gonna make sure you trying to stay on.
Claire Huxtable.
I
I
have,
love that. People,
I have
why you
no
always like Claire
problem.
Huxtable? So I love.
Because she
the
was
woman
dumb
she
and
was.
yes, she was soft.
She was
took care of
soft, but she
family.
would put you in your place in
Right.
a heartbeat. I'd rather that than a soft woman.
There's nothing wrong with this. You know, I had a client one time told me, she said, just because you can
Don't mean
pump the
shit.
gas.
right.
Don't mean you should.
Why you I'm saying, so she told me when you pull up to the gas station, pump your trunk.
Right.
Don't pump your gas station. Act like you're stupid sometimes.
Right.
See if there's some men out there that say, baby, what you trying to do? You trying to get gas? She said, because what happens is y'all have gotten so strong, independent that you don't know how to be a woman and allow a man to be a man. So then that's like the inappropriate. That's why some of us on our second half can't get a man
And
because
that's
you're so strong.
a
Like
lot
that.
of men don't
No,
approach us. A lot of
right.
men don't approach y'all because y'all strong like that. Because if
Right.
I came up and said, hey, you feel that? Let me get that for you. I ain't trying to talk to you. I got a hope, but let me pump this gas because you should. Need you to do nothing.
That's what they do. That's what I'm saying. They're so strong. They're so strong. You push
I
it
got
both
it.
ways.
Who you
Strong.
trying to talk? I ain't trying to talk to
Right.
you.
You
So,
know,
I'm
you
telling
gonna
you,
look
my
like
one.
male
Right in the
friends,
I can
I
break
have
you
several
today.
male friends, and they have said that I have become much better in the past this later.
I'm so proud of 2023. 2023.
But I'm telling you, therapy helps a lot because your therapist don't care. She's not on your side.
She
You don't even like me. I don't think she likes me. Yeah, she
Right,
might.
she
She
was
might.
like,
She
"Man."
is fucking.
Right.
She
She was
might.
like, if I
$150.
close my eyes, I would know. I would think it was a man in here. The way you
Mine and
talk.
mine sure is fucking.
Right.
So, but you heard that so many times.
But it had to come from a stranger. You know how you can talk to your kids 18 times and one person come in and say one sentence and here it is. Well, what the hell is going to say?
Same thing you said, but I'm a different person.
Yeah, and I ain't got. And listen, I don't like you. I don't love you like that.
if you. I'm
It's
getting
always.
paid regardless.
I say that all the time. We have to be careful with people that love us. Sometimes we take what they're saying. We don't take it into consideration.
Correct.
And you know what I'm saying. And then
Because
sometimes
you're
people
right,
love
you're
you.
hearing it.
And sometimes people who love you are gonna sometimes give you bad advice,
Mhm.
and they're gonna give you bad advice because they love you, and so they don't want to hurt your
Because
feelings.
they yes people.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yes,
right. You get a lot of people like celebrities. Majority of people hang around them are yes people, and as soon as someone
Whoa. Hold on.
celebrities don't have yes people.
No, I'm not saying
Oh,
majority because I'm not one.
Oh, well, I don't believe you're a yes
Yeah,
person.
no,
What I'm
yes.
saying is some do. You get what I'm saying?
No, you do got a lot of them that say yes, and that kind of aggravates the hell out
Well,
of
baby,
me.
you're
But
not close. You're not the one that's right there with them every single day.
I could have been, but I didn't want to be that one
Thank
because
God,
I
praise
heard the other guys always yes.
Yes.
Okay, chef. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, I'm not that. So me and him will bump heads all the time. Like, why do you argue back and forth? Because he need to hear the truth instead
Of
of y'all
course.
just saying yes.
Y'all
to him
just
all the
lying
time.
to them sometimes.
So
Y'all just
no,
lying.
yeah, but
People lie to you for their check. Like just because
You take care of them.
you know, just no, I'm saying.
that's basically what is going on.
Yes, because just like
That's what's going on.
when me and my cousin went on a girls trip and she is a celebrity. So she said, you know what? I think I want to invite just my family, not because anything else, because we so raw and look hood sometimes. But we just gonna say it. You get what I'm trying to say? Well, other people, you know what I'm saying? Other people gonna be yesing you. I'm not yesing nothing. You dead wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I'm not co-signing your boyfriend.
So I think tonight we shook some tables. What do y'all think? Y'all think we
I think it
shook
went
some
well.
tables?
I think.
I can't wait to see your outcome.
Ah!
Yes, it's gonna be a good one too.
I'm waiting for the Lord.
He's coming.
The Lord.
He's here. He's here.
He's already here.
He's here. He's here. He's never late.
He's right on
Always
time.
on time.
No.
Hey, what do you do?
So I hope you guys enjoy shaking the table. I know we be late. Y'all pray our strength in the Lord. Don't judge our
But
heart.
this is an entrepreneur life. We're
Yes.
not on their time.
Yes.
Right?
Help
So,
the Lord.
as much as I want to say, I'm ready to go home, I got to do what I need to do.
Yes, you
I
got to
can't
set the
because
last
there's
light.
one more walk-in is gonna come through, and as an
It is
entrepreneur,
hard being an
every dollar.
entrepreneur.
I went home at 8 o'clock one night. I was so tired. I was seeing stars.
Yeah, I have driven home and had to turn Trick Daddy on, and I don't even really listen to that no
So
more.
sometimes,
But I turn on real loud.
Sometimes we don't get paper checks, child, so we have to get all the points.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I enjoy everybody. I'm sorry I could not read all you guys' comments tonight. I tried my best. I couldn't.
I need Gina up there to read the comments.
Right. Yeah. Gina usually reads the
You
comments.
gave us a day off.
Yeah. So I'm sorry I could not read the comments tonight. I saw some great comments. I thank you for Rudy. We might have to come and invite you in. He does have his own podcast. It's amazing. They do it. They invited me in to come to theirs, and Lord, I shook the table over there. So, you know, they're all men who they do it in the barbershop over off Edgewater, and they have some great topics. But we do too. Yeah. So, want to say thank you, everybody. I hope tonight went good, Steve. I hope you're willing to come back and shake the table with us again. I don't know why my AC was acting crazy.
No, I ain't talking about Tracy. I'm talking about
Oh, you were
I
outside.
heat all
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I said, man, let's get ready.
Joe,
I'm mad at heat already.
You didn't want to sit up front, but you talked tonight, and we want you to come back. You are welcome back to Shake the Table, because normally time we do have younger men here, and they come from a younger perspective. It was great to have some little more
So
wisdom,
much
because
more.
they have great wisdom. I'm not taking nothing from Uncle Chuck, and I'm not taking nothing from City. We love them, and you guys will see them back. But we like the new guests too. We like Steve. We like you, Joe. And it was a great topic. And y'all, next week, you guys tell us what y'all want us to talk about, because y'all know we'll talk about anything except your mama. We won't talk about your mama.
Oh my God.
But we'll talk about anything. And hopefully to see you guys. I want to say goodbye. I'm gonna log out. Why didn't call me and tell me this show was on? I'm so sorry.
What you say?
Why didn't you call me and tell me this show was on?
Well, I can
No,
call
every
everybody.
Right, I know. I'm so sorry. Listen, but I'm gonna post it. We come on every Tuesday. Give us about 8 o'clock, 7:45, 8 o'clock. We will.
Our heart is right. Our heart is
We will be on.
My attention is pure.
All right, you guys. Thank you for watching Shaking the Table. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
I hope I did that right.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
you did, right.
All right.